My nephew, Chris Domenico.
Uncle Brett.
Good to see you, man.
Great to be here.
It's great being called Uncle Brett, because not too many people call me that. We're in the business of behavior analysis, and in order to change any learner's behavior, any human's behavior, or anyone for that matter, or to help them improve, first you got to get their attention. And that's what I'm interested in. Like, what is it, the 1 or 2 seconds that people these days spend, what are the stimuli that they will actually, get their attention? And then once you capture their attention, how do you keep it for a short period of time? Because everything these days is about a quick thumbnail, swipe right, swipe left, very visual, bells and whistles. The next shiny thing is what somebody wants to look at. And it just seems to me, fewer and fewer people are actually looking at something deep. They switch topics really fast now that there's the mobile phone. And what's your take on that?
On the mobile phone, or what's the
what gets
stimuli?
people's attention? I guess both. What are the stimuli that get people's attention? And then secondly, what's the mode? Is it mobile or whatever?
I think a lot of it's sensory. I think if it's a catchy song. I think visually it's something that you didn't see every day. I know the thumbnail. I think at least the old thumbnail I saw the first time, like you're not even sure if it's necessarily real because he just has his mouth open really wide.
And it's not a fancy thumbnail, right?
Yeah. It looks. It was on a webcam. It was on a very cheap webcam, and so along with the authenticity, and I think people like being a part of something. It's you want to be the person that's seen the new viral video, and you want to share that with people you care about. As for what gets people's attention, I think if it's novel, and I think if it's something they can make a connection with in some way, and I think that's true of really any kind of creative art that's successful.
Yeah.
Is they have to see kind of some of themselves or somebody to recognize in it.
Yeah. That's a good point. This is all stuff I digest to try to. Someone that has your background and experience of overseeing a channel like that and seeing the evolutions of the up and down, it's kind of interesting to me to pick your brain about those things. So, Chris, when you first took over the channel, mm-hmm. What were some of the comments and things that you were seeing in the comment section, and what were people saying about it?
Well, people really wanted to see Gary. Gary, believe it or not, Gary is the shyest person I've ever met in my whole life, which is people find that very unusual. And he's a great guy. He's a good friend. But he's not someone that enjoys the spotlight. And he was very reluctant to participate mm-hmm. In anything beyond the video. I mean, this is something he just kind of threw online just for his friends. Yeah.
He just figured a couple of friends would want to see it.
Right. Yeah. He did not. I mean, we're talking about really shy guy, usually working in some kind of computer tech where, a week after he puts his video up, there's news vans outside his house.
Is that what happened?
That's what happened, yeah. This guy from Jersey. I mean, he's from Jersey. And he just really...
He still live in Jersey?
He does, yeah. Huh. And it's funny because he just gave up doing all the interviews, so now I just do them.
Yeah. What made him not want to do interviews anymore?
I think they got a bit repetitive for him. I mean, he did a lot of interviews for a while, and then we did some together. But I think that he just wasn't as comfortable, kind of, I think, repeating the same thing again and again and again.
To him, I guess it lost its authenticity.
Yeah.
If he's not doing it in a moment, right?
Yeah.
In some ways.
In fact, I remember we got hired to do a commercial for Hasbro for a new Trivial Pursuit game that came out like 8 years ago, mm-hmm. and so I was actually directing it. I got to direct the commercial. We actually did 2 at the time. It was a web commercial, and we got him in a room. We got his friends there. We had some actors, and he wrote a song about the game, and then it's supposed to transition into him doing the song, the original Numa Numa song. Dragiste Dinte is the name of the song. And he does part of it, and I'm like, cut. All right, that's great, Gary. Now what I want to do, like, just so in case we want to use it, can you do the whole song just so maybe I can like insert it, different parts of it? And he just looks at me and like just the color leaves his face, and he's like, like his spirit was broken.
Really?
From having to do this so many times.
Oh, just the fact that you went back to it, he was like, oh shit, not again. Not from you, not from my friend.
And I'm just having this surreal moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here directing the Numa Numa guy, telling him how to do the Numa Numa dance, and it was like, it took me back to being that kid in my bedroom watching this.
Te sun, să-ți spun ce simt acum.